In Genesis chapter 11, the people of the world were united in their anti God, anti Christ attitude. The people displayed great contempt against God in their attempt to make a name for themselves by the city and the tower which they were attempting to build. God intervened to scatter the inhabitants of the world and to confuse their language, so that going forward there would be separate peoples with separate nations that had different languages. National borders then are ordained by God. To treat a nation like its borders are a light thing, and as if its border laws are trivial or non existent, is at its core defiance of God's verdict, which he handed down through the confusion and scattering at Babel. The standard practice in ancient times regarding refugees and other immigrants was for them to get permission from the king of a nation to come dwell in that nation, as is seen by Jacob's household's interview with Pharaoh in Genesis chapter 47, and several instances in the life of King David. The proper process of law and order was obviously not to be set aside when God commanded in the law of Moses in Deuteronomy 10:19, "Love ye therefore the stranger, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt." We even see Israel asking permission of other nations to pass through their land when they were traveling through the wilderness between Egypt and Canaan. See Numbers chapter 20, verses 14 to 21. On the other hand, the modern Jews had no commission from God to re-enter the land like Israel had in Moses and Joshua's time. The modern nation of Israel itself is a product of illegal immigration, and its great wickedness is a demonstration of illegal immigration's fruits. And do note the obvious elephant in the room here regarding how many on both the political left and right contradict themselves. No one can stand against modern Israel without hypocrisy when they support illegal immigration, and no one can stand against illegal immigration without hypocrisy when they support modern Israel. Immigrants who just walk into a nation or enter otherwise without permission are illegal invaders. That is much more the case when they settle in that nation. When this is done by a horde of people, it is a mass invasion of a nation. Politicians and other government officials who turn a blind eye to this are enablers of evil, and they sin greatly through their failure to protect the people whom they are supposed to be serving. When they go further, like many American politicians and bureaucrats have done, by giving free handouts to these illegal invaders, they're stealing from their own people and encouraging others to come and invade as well. These hypocritical politicians and bureaucrats even aggravate their guilt by putting up walls around their own political conventions and frequently living in heavily guarded, gated communities. There is a wall around God's eternal kingdom, which you can read about in Revelation chapter 21. And you can also read in the final chapters of the Bible how God has warned that those who practice deceit, those who defile, and those who in any way do wickedness in his eyes will not enter into that kingdom, but will rather have their part in the eternal lake of fire, which is without it.